fellow freedom builders, and welcome back to the channel. Now, many of you have asked me why I don't do videos anymore about these swing trading candidates from the US market. And it's not that I don't want to, I just didn't have the time. I've been making a lot of option material lately. So today I am going to make a swing trading video. Now, I have a list of candidates here. I make that every single day. And I'm going to show you the candidates today. They are actually from Friday. So you can trade them from today, Monday, I guess. And I'll try to make this video ready from the beginning of the market so you can get in right away. Just remember, these are swing trading candidates. You need to put your own level of analysis over that. You need to look at maybe some fundamentals. I have been looking too much at that. I haven't been looking at sectors or industry groups or anything. I am just looking at the technical side. Those of you that have followed me for a while, you won't be too surprised about the candidates here because they are pretty much the same as I always find, meaning that we are looking at some trend, some bounces of the moving averages, some volume, and a couple of candidates. That's pretty much it. And that tends to be quite a good investment. You also have to consider your own exit. It could be a specific target. It could be a stop loss level and so on. I'll not get into that here. I'll just show you the candidates and you can do your own research. So it's just to save you a bit of time and because there's so many requests for it. Let's dive straight into the computer here and I'll take them just quickly one by one. Let's have a look. Now, as you can see here in TradingView, the platform TradingView has made it possible for us to make these headlines here. So I have, for instance, here all the swing trading candidates from Friday, the 25th of June. And I have divided them up in small cap, mid cap and large cap. And there are probably more candidates, but these are the ones I've chosen. If you have seen my screening video from earlier on, I have eased a bit up on the fundamentals now because these are simply just the swing trading candidates. So I'm not scanning or screening too much on the individual stocks fundamentals. So let's just have a quick look at them. First of all, we have RIGL, RIGL Pharmaceuticals here. It's a biotech company. And normally when I'm looking at the swing trading candidates, I'm not looking too much at the weekly chart. I hope you remember that. But it is okay just to have a quick glance over here to see are there some big support and resistance areas. But there's not much here that I'll be worried about. It is in the green zone in our indicator here. But what I am looking at is that we have a very nice uptrend here. We have some bounces on the same point here. We have some higher bottoms here. And we can see the RSI is very nicely and the OBV, the unbalanced volume indicators, also nicely trending upwards. We have this big spike up here on some very nice volume. We had the other thing the other day here with the bounce on the 20 SMA. So RIGL Pharmaceuticals here, a very nice technical setup. The good question, of course, is should you buy it right now or should you wait for a little retracement? And that is the eternal question when it comes to these swing trades, because you do risk that it just goes straight up and you're not getting in and you are in a severe case of FOMO, fear of missing out, and you buy it at the absolute top up here somewhere. Or you could wait till it bounces here, get in at a bit of a better price, and wait for the real bounce. That is entirely up to you. It is different from trader style to trader style. I'm just saying here. So RIGL Pharmaceuticals. And as you recall from the list here, we are starting from the small cap and working our ways towards the large cap. The other one here, or the next one, is the MBA Inc. And if we're looking at the weekly chart here, we can see quite a large bottom formation down here. Then we can see a big spike up and it is retracing a bit and now it is running. Someone might be worried. Let's just have it so you can see the dates here. So someone might be worried about this line here where you thought there might be some resistance, and yes, there might be. But to be honest, in the environment we are at the market right now, I can see most of these resistance area being run over, but you could wait and see if it went down to the 20 SMA and shot straight through here. Also, remember that I don't take swing trading too close to earnings, and this is not too close, but most of them I'm actually closing out before earnings, but that is more because these are shorter term swings. Next candidate is Verso Corporation. Now this one has started a very nice uptrend. You can see here, depending on where we are drawing our lines here, but you could definitely see a tendency to some, it is less and less steep downwards here, and then it is hitting a bottom down here 3-4 times, and then it is shooting upwards. We could have chosen to pick it down here, but right now it is in a very good trend. It is bouncing on 20 SMA. The indicators are nice, and this shot up from the 20 SMA is at a very high volume here. Earnings are back here, so there is a while before we run into new ones here. Verso Corporation, very exciting stock. Then we have DJCO, the Daily Journal Corp here. And again, it is the absolute smallest of the stocks, I think. I think it's only a market cap of $300 to $400 million, something like that. So you should be very careful. And with many of these small cap, very micro cap stocks, you should, if you want to trade them, you should put in a limit order, because if you choose a market order and there's not too much liquidity in the market, you risk of being filled on your order at a very bad price, and all of a sudden it can spike up 3-4-5% and you get in at the absolute top. So no reason for that. What we can see here is that we've had this area down here that has bounced on, and right now we are moving up, bouncing on the 20 SMA at an extremely high spike of volume. Very interesting stock, and yeah, I think that was the small cap stocks. Yes, we are moving into the mid caps right now. Copart, ticker CPRT. It is already in a very good uptrend. We could easily draw a little regression channel. Coming up right here, depending on where we want to draw it from, but somewhere here, or we could even take it further back if we wanted to, but it is in a very good uptrend. What we can see right now is that it is down, bouncing at the 50, bouncing at close to 50 and 20, and then shooting upward from here. Quite reasonable volume here. Indicators are showing some good strength. If you are to the traditional way of looking at RSI, you might want to say, well, this is above 70. I wouldn't buy it here. Just remember that many stocks can stay above 70 for a very long time and just continue in an uptrend. But some of you might want to wait until the RSI have dipped a bit below here, a 50 line, a 40 or 30 line, and then wait for the upturn here. But just recall that right here, we have actually had a very long time without any dips down to the 20-30 level here. So you might not get in if you're choosing that swing trading strategy. That is, again, entirely up to you. Then we have Oxy, OXY, Occidental Petroleum Corporation. Again, one of these stocks that have been in a huge violent downtrend here. They have broken up a retracement, and now they're shooting upwards. We're timing it on a daily time frame, and right now it has gone up quite a lot the last week here. It is up something like 18%. So you might want to take it a bit down in a retracement before it really shoots up again. But again, that's up to you. Some traders, they are taking half a position here to be sure to be on it. And if it retraces a bit, they might take half a position more. That is, again, entirely up to you. So Occidental Petroleum Corporation here, a very exciting candidate. Then we have APO, Apollo Global Management. What we see here is a stock that has been in a sideways trading range here. You could actually maybe, with a bit of goodwill here, draw my favorite scenario. As many of you know, we have this top line here, and then we have the bottoms going up faster and faster, meaning that the buyers are willing to pay more and more. They're getting in faster and faster, and now it shoots up at a very high volume. these are one of the stocks that I really expect to be able to have some more thrust upwards. Again, I'm not looking at the fundamentals here, so you might write me and say, yeah, well, their manager just resigned, the CEO resigned, the CFO resigned, they are selling something in China and China are angry with them. I have no clue what's going on in the individual stocks. These are simply just the right swing trading setups. Then we have the Carlyle Group, and let's just see how far we are down here. We only have a single large cap. We have the Carlyle Group here. Again, a very nice uptrend. And those of you new to trend following might want to say, well, hasn't it run too far here? And yeah, well, from down here to up here, it's up, what, 108%. But we don't really care, because what we're going for is not to buy cheap and sell expensive. We are going to actually buy expensive and sell even more expensive. That is the main idea with the trend following here. So it is shooting up, as you can see, the same pattern here, a good shot up, very high volume, some very good indicators. It is in a good uptrend. The Carlyle Group, watch out for that one. Then we have Dropbox, DBX, good uptrend, green zone, indicators here, RSI is turning around way above the 50 line. That is what I do like to see. The OBV is bouncing on its own moving average here. Those of you ask me what the average is, I'm using 13. I think it's a default. This is a default indicator, or it is a costume indicator, but it is in TradingView. And you just search for OBV plus EMA and you should get that indicator up there. Yes, it is bouncing on the 20 SMA, shooting up nicely, good volume. Dropbox, look out for that one as well. OVV, Oventive Inc., I think it is pronounced. Again, uptrend. I hope you can see here that there's absolutely no magic in what I'm doing. I'm looking for an uptrend. I'm looking for bounces on the 20 SMA. I want the 20, the 50 and the 200 to be aligned in the right order, with 20 on top, 50 in the middle and 200 at the bottom. I like to see the RSI staying nicely above the 50 line, bouncing above the 50 line, and the OBV turning upwards. And I want on my entry signal, or you could say the signal was Friday, but I do want to see that break up with some very high volume here. So Oventive, good candidate. Macom Technology Solutions here. Now this is it's still in a good uptrend. It has been a bit messy if you're looking at the weekly chart here, but what we can see is that the 20 is on top of the 50 and that isn't on top of the 200, so that is looking good. It is at a very early stage and some swing traders might want to wait until the next swing, but then we're getting a bit too close to the earnings in my opinion. So if I wanted to get in on it, I wanted to do it now. Down here at the OBV, you can see that it is a bit choppy around the moving average. It's not exactly what I like to see. So Macom Technology might not be on the top of my swing trading candidate list. Then we have OPCH, Option Care Health. Good uptrend, green zone. As you can see, RSI, OBV doing just what I want them to do. Very high volume here. Also high volume on the last spike up here. So very nice candidate, and it has been moving up 38% on a very short time frame here over a couple of months, and who knows, it might be able to do that again. Remember, I'm not trying to predict anything here. I'm simply following trends. So I have a very strict exit rule, and there might be 5 or 10 of these candidates that turn around and hit my stop loss, and I might lose 5 or 7%, something like that. But then again, there are some runners that are making 50 or 100 and 200%, and they are paying for all the small losers. Then we have the last stock here, and that is the only large cap stock. That is American Express Company. And as you can see, very nice uptrend, very good bounces here. If we should look into some of the qualitative fundamentals of AXP here, I would say that people are spending more and more money, they're getting stimulus checks and so on, and yet the economy is not completely recovered, so there might be a tendency to use these cards also for convenience. As you can see, both the RSI and the OBV has dived a bit below where I actually like to see it, but there might still be some upwards power into this, and the rise here Friday, it came with a very high volume. be aware we have some dividend payouts here and we have some earnings coming here. Now, all of these stocks can of course be traded just like normal swing trading. You buy a stock and then follow it up or down for that matter. But if you are into options trading, and that is what we're going to have a lot of chat about here in the future videos, you might want to buy something called an out of the money call option, meaning that you're buying an option with the right to buy the stock, let's say at 180 in a month or two. Now you're paying a price for that, and if the stock stays down here, you lose that price you paid for the option. But if the price shoots up here, you now have the right to buy the stock at 180 and sell it for, let's say, 200 if the price have reached that. That means you can pocket $20 for each stock out of 100 stocks. That's $2,000. And you might only have paid, let's say, $3 for the entire option here, meaning you have paid $300 to make $2,000. So I hope if you have seen my option video the other day with buying and selling puts and call options, these are some of the ways you can use some of these options if you want to spice up your game a bit on these swing stocks. I normally don't do it too much, but I will show it when I open up that. I'm still working on getting my company account at Interactive Brokers up and running. There are a lot of paperwork, but as soon as it's up and running, I'll both show you some longer term, more solid option strategies, some covered calls, and the wheel strategy that many of you might have heard about, but also show you how you can use these smaller position with call options, maybe some put options, to spice up your swing trading portfolio. That's all for now. I hope this gave you a bit of inspiration, and remember, it is just inspiration. I'm not trying to predict, and I'm definitely not trying to advise you to buy any of this. You should only do it if this follows your normal strategy as well. That's all for now. Take care of yourself and your money out there, and I'll talk to you again shortly. Bye.